Native American code talkers were a massively important component of secrecy in wartime, both in World War I and World War II. Now, you're probably familiar with the Navajo code talkers, but are you familiar with the Choctaw code talkers? How about the Comanche code talkers? You see, besides the Navajo, which were the largest portion of Native American tribes, especially in the Second World War, there was Native American code talkers in World War I. There's been a bunch of different tribes that did code talking for the military, and this is really something that's quite interesting. Like I said, we're probably most familiar with the Navajo. They were the largest group of code talkers, especially in World War II in the Pacific Theater. However, there's a lot of different code talking tribes. Now, the Germans found this out in the war because they couldn't understand what the codes were. They figured out, oh, these were Native American languages. Post World War I, pre-World War II, the Germans sent a whole bunch of anthropologists and linguists to figure out what all the different Native American languages were. And so in World War II, while there was some code talking that happened in the European theater for Native Americans, it was far less. Now, besides just the language component, there was also the codes, making it so instead of calling it a tank, they called it a turtle, and things like that, able to further encode their wording. Now, you're probably familiar with the fact that the Native Americans didn't get any credit post-World War II for quite some time. Their incredible sacrifice of being in frontline positions as code talkers. And as the guy on the radio, that's going to be somebody that the enemy's going to want to take out. But the reasoning for this, especially originally post-World War II, was actually pretty important because they continued having Native American code talkers all the way up until the point in which computers got good enough that they could then do computerized messages. And then in the 1960s, the late 1960s, finally unclassified the program. And so we continued using those Native American code talkers, or at least the potential to use them, for decades after World War II. And then it wasn't until the 80s with Ronald Reagan that they finally got some recognition for their sacrifice.